Diagnosing a complex patient requires looking past basic airflow. True sleep architecture, the measurable brainwave data, tells a clinical story that cardiorespiratory metrics cannot. Historically, capturing that granular electroencephalography data meant forcing a patient to spend the night in a high-friction, highly expensive, dedicated sleep laboratory. That creates a structural problem. If you are an ENT or a primary care physician, you need true sleep staging data to make clinical decisions today, but you cannot build and staff a multi-bed polysomnography facility down the hall. Portable EEG sleep staging integrates the diagnostic depth of a laboratory into a field-deployable system. It allows for full-tier data collection within the patient's own environment. For serious medical practices, sacrificing diagnostic data quality for the sake of patient convenience is a trade-off you no longer have to make. To be clear upfront, the hardware we are evaluating is built exclusively for clinical directors, for academic researchers, and medical professionals managing capital equipment. As this access checklist shows, we are specifically excluding direct-to-consumer devices and at-home patient purchases from this evaluation. The hardware capable of this is manufactured by Central Sleep Corporation, a specialized engineering firm focused entirely on clinical data collection outside of the traditional lab. They offer two distinct hardware pathways depending on your operational needs, the Z-Machine Insight Plus and the Z-Machine Synergy. This investment in specialized diagnostic hardware allows a practice to maintain clinical autonomy, bypassing the delays of external lab referrals. We will start by evaluating the hardware needed for our first demographic, academic researchers and specialized neurologists conducting human performance or insomnia studies. This matrix maps this group directly to the Z-Machine Insight Plus. The outcome is complete access to high-fidelity brainwave analysis, delivered straight to your database. The trade-off is logistical. You shoulder the burden of managing hardware and building custom analysis pipelines. Absorbing that logistical effort yields a massive advantage. You can run clinical trials across multiple states or regions simultaneously, rather than flying every subject to a single facility. The Insight Plus removes the physical walls of the research lab while preserving the strict validity of the brainwave data you need for peer review. Next, we shift to adjacent medical specialties, specifically cardiology, internal medicine, pulmonology, and otolaryngology. Your diagnostic dilemma is that basic home sleep tests only capture cardiorespiratory metrics. This leaves a diagnostic blind spot regarding the patient's actual sleep stages. The matrix expands to the Z-Machine Synergy, an operational home sleep test with full EEG staging. It provides a dual-stream record, capturing breathing and brainwaves simultaneously. The trade-off shifts to upfront clinic resources, requiring initial hardware expenditure and staff training time. But capturing this data in-house means you keep the patient within your workflow, avoiding the multi-month backlogs of traditional sleep centers. The Synergy system elevates the adjacent specialist from a point of referral into the primary diagnostic authority for complex sleep comorbidities. Our final evaluation segment targets dental sleep medicine practitioners and concierge medical practices. The current operational limitation for these practices is a reliance on subjective patient questionnaires to gauge whether a dental appliance or an elite lifestyle intervention is actually working. Looking at the completed matrix, integrating clinical-grade home EEG provides the physiological verification required for true validation. The trade-off requires a shift in practice culture. You must replace simple qualitative check-ins with a rigorous data-driven review protocol. Executing that transition significantly elevates your practice's standard of care and builds clinical credibility in a highly competitive market. You replace vague, subjective patient feedback with verifiable, measurable clinical outcomes.